Good morning and welcome to our kitchen. I'm Gordy Galusha.
I'm Nancy Ostroff.
Today is our 228th program. Can you believe that? I can't.
Yeah.
I can't. It seems like these last few years have gone by very, very fast to make it 228.
Yeah.
Today we're going to be making a double cheese beef pasta and a blackberry cobbler. And we're going to start out with Nancy.
Okay, thank you. This recipe was for 6 to 8 servings, and I didn't want to make that much, so I kind of cut the ingredients in half, and I just have to start out with 1 pound of ground beef. Okay. Need to brown this, but along with one medium onion. The original recipe called for 2 medium, but depending on what you figure is medium, sometimes I wonder the exact size. It's not exact. So I have about 2/3, 3/4 of a cup of chopped onion. And about a cup of fresh mushrooms. Now, the recipe calls to later mix in a 4.5 ounce can of mushroom pieces and stems. I didn't find it when I was shopping, and I like to use fresh mushrooms. So this is about a cup that I'm going to put in now to cook them down with the onion and ground beef. Of course, to get them in the can, they're already cooked. So I need to brown the hamburger and cook down the onions so I can turn it back to Gordy.
This morning I'm going to make a blackberry cobbler. There's a big abundance of berries and everything in the grocery store, so I thought I would make a blackberry cobbler today. In my bowl I have 1.5 cups of flour and 1/2 cup of sugar, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. And I've got 9 tablespoons of butter cut up, and I'm going to add this to my flour, and I'm going to mix it all up to make the dough. Sometimes sticks, so you have to really, if you've got muscle, then you have to use it. Today my muscle's not working. Okay, I am mixing it up. When it's all done, it should resemble crumbs. It's going on top of the blackberries. Okay. I'm going to use my hand a little bit to break this all up. These cobblers, the blueberry and blackberry and whatever berry you like to use in a cobbler, always tastes good with a picnic. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, and to that I'm going to add 1/3 cup of boiling water. Oh, I got too much. Okay, and I'm going to mix this all up. When this is all mixed up, you can make sure that all the flour is in here, is all mixed, and then you set it aside, and then you make your filling. It smells like cinnamon. Okay, that is the dough. Okay, I'm going to set this aside, and I'm going to send it back to Nancy.
Okay. I think this is about ready. The hamburger is pretty well cooked. What I'm going to have to do, whenever I cook anything like this, where I have juices that I need to drain things, I have to figure out how I'm going to do it. And what I'm going to have to do is transfer
Where's my wooden spoon?
the meat and onion and mushroom. There isn't a lot of juice. To a separate bowl, but I am going to have to put the hamburger back in the fry pan. I really like these orange coated cooking pans. Shortly after I bought green ones so that I could put them in the oven and not sticky, they came out with the orange ones. I was able to get these quite cheaply, so I have a large one and this square one. I now need to pour that juice into okay. Now the hamburger goes back into the fry pan, and I'm going to add to that a half a jar, 14, it says a 14-ounce jar would be for the full recipe. So it's a half a 14-ounce jar. Now this is more than a 14-ounce jar. So I'm kind of winging it. Your favorite spaghetti sauce or marinara sauce. This is a cup. I'm going to add that. This is a kind of recipe I think you can kind of judge when you're adding different things. If you need a little bit more, so we'll see. Okay, the second thing is a half of a 14.5-ounce can of, it says stewed tomatoes, cut up, chopped up. Well, I bought diced tomatoes. And this is the 14.5-ounce can. So I'm going to start off with a half of this can and see. And these happen to be, actually, I didn't realize, fire roasted. So you see some black specks on the tomatoes. Add a little more flavor to the. And then it would call now for the can of mushrooms to be put in, and they're already in there. And 1 garlic clove, minced. And again, if you like garlic, you can use a little bit more. And salt and pepper to taste. I'm using my lemon pepper, which I like to season with, without sodium. Now here's where I can kind of think, do I need some more spaghetti sauce or diced tomatoes? Okay, this is going to simmer for about 10-15 minutes before we continue on with the rest of the recipe. So Gordy, can you do something now?
Now I'm going to make the filling for my blackberry cobbler. In my measuring cup, I have 2 tablespoons of cornstarch and 1/4 of a cup of real cold water. And I'm going to put in lemon juice, a tablespoon of lemon juice, and 1/4 of a cup of sugar. Now mix that up a little bit. And I'm going to turn this on my 4 cups of blackberries, which I have in my bowl. I'm going to let this start to boil a little bit. Gonna mix it up so it's all, the cornstarch and the sugar and the lemon juice is all on all the berries. And I have to bring it to a boil for a couple seconds. It'll be ready in a few minutes. These are the biggest blackberries I have ever seen. Look at that size.
Yeah.
A big one, huh?
Yeah.
Wish I had a blackberry bush out back. And a blueberry bush. And a raspberry bush. Well, this will probably work if I put it on the right burner. Oh, I tell you. Oh, me, oh, me. Oh, I thought, well, how come it's not heating up? Oh. And now I know I'm cracking up. This has to boil for a few minutes before I put it in my dish. The cornstarch is becoming thicker, which is what I need to do. I'm going to let it get real hot for just a second, and then I will put it in my dish. They say the watch pot never boils.
Right. Old wives' tale.
This is getting thicker now. Gonna mash down a little bit of the blackberries.
Now you've made all different kinds of crumbles, haven't you?
Yes.
Strawberries?
I have made strawberry shortcake. There's not any more berries. I can't make any more cobblers. Don't have any more berries to work from. Okay.
We're waiting for the strawberries to.
You what?
I said we are waiting. We haven't really checked the farms around here, but it's.
Okay, I'm going to put my blackberries into my baking dish. Be very careful because it is very, very hot. I'm going to smooth it out. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to put my topping on, little pieces at a time, to cover the top. This should all run together and make a delicious crust. Okay, just a little bit more here. There. That's what it looks like with the topping on it. And now I'm going to put it into a 400-degree oven for 20 to 25 minutes. So that is in the oven. Now back to Nancy.
Okay, I'm ready to continue on with the casserole. In the bottom of about a 2-quart baking dish, or maybe 1.5 quart, because it's a half a recipe, I have placed pasta, which I've gotten medium shells. I use rigatoni. Rotini is another pasta I like. But I boiled up about 2 cups instead of, it was 2.5 cups in the full recipe. But just to make sure that I did have enough, I did do 2 cups of pasta. So half of it is in the bottom of this spray shortened baking dish. And now I'm going to spoon on half of the Hamburg mixture. One thing I did off camera when I tasted this Hamburg mixture, it's an optional seasoning or to add to this. I kind of like a sweeter as opposed to acidic sauce. So I added a little sugar, and if I were home, I would add some honey to sweeten up the sauce. But that's an optional thing. So you've covered the pasta. And now I'm going to lay about, 3 ounces, it said, of sliced provolone cheese. So sliced cheese, and they come in circles. So what I would do is take these, kind of overlap this one. So that ends out to be 4 slices. And spread over that a cup of sour cream. Interesting. This is the light sour cream. Spread it evenly around. Okay, now top it again with the Hamburg mixture. Now, I forgot to do something too. I'm layering this. You should have, after the sour cream, put some more pasta in here, and then so I can't do anything about it now, so I will add some pasta. So make note that after the sour cream, you can add the rest of the pasta and then the meat sauce. Then to finish it off, some shredded mozzarella. And it says about a half a cup, but if we like cheese, it might be a little bit more than that. Okay, this goes into a 350-degree oven, covered. For about 35 to 40 minutes. So everything is in the oven now, and when we come back, we will be at our table. Welcome back to our table. If you like cheese and sour cream, maybe this recipe I made is for you. Double cheese beef pasta bake, I could call it. Pretty easy to put together. If you look closely, you'd see you see some pasta on the top, which was a mistake on my part. So this is how it goes. The bottom layer is some shell pasta. And then the next layer is a mixture of ground beef, mushroom, and onion cooked together till the beef is done. Then we added some spaghetti sauce and some diced canned tomatoes, and a little garlic and salt and pepper to taste. So then that sauce goes over that first layer of pasta. Now on top of that, I'm supposed to put, let's see, more pasta, I think. And then then over the beef, I'm putting some provolone cheese and sour cream. Now, more pasta. Instead, I added another layer of the Hamburg mixture. So that's why you see a little bit of pasta on top, because it should be underneath the Hamburg mixture. To top it all off, I spread it with mozzarella, shredded mozzarella. So it was a little mixed up, but
It still looks good.
it still looks good and it'll come out just fine.
It'll taste just the same,
Yeah.
just as it was.
How about you, Gordy?
Today I made a blackberry cobbler. As I said before, berries are pretty abundant, and I love them anyway. There's all kinds of cobblers that you can make, and today I made a blackberry. And I made a dough of flour and sugar and baking powder, salt and cinnamon. I mixed them together, and I put 9 tablespoons of cold butter and 1/3 of a cup of boiling water to make the crust. And for the filling, I made a slurry of 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, 1/4 of a cup of real cold water, and a tablespoon of lemon juice, and 4 cups of fresh blackberries. I put the blackberries in a pan and made the slurry, and put the slurry and the sugar and the lemon juice and everything in with the blackberries, and I let it come to a boil for a little while so it got thickened a little bit, and then I put it in a baking pan and baked it for between 20 and 25 minutes, and this is what it looks like. Looks pretty yummy to me. I love this stuff anyway. I have a very bad sweet tooth. So if anybody would like any of these recipes, please send a self-addressed stamped envelope to Dalton Community Cable, 151 Park Avenue, Dalton, Mass. 01226. And that is all from our kitchen. Have a great day.